So I have a Avian 60 amp, and I went into the programmer, plugged it in, and I'm not plugged into the computer, so I can actually show you. If I enter to this ESC, connecting to ESC, please wait, software version. All right, Avian is fixed wing, brake type reverse. So it's set up, but when I go into the menu, I can just hit save and it's gonna say okay, data okay. All right. So from here, it's in the ESC, but I don't need it to be. So I'm gonna just disconnect it and start over again for the purposes of this video. But the problem is when I go on the radio, and I don't need to show you that if you have the issue. Otherwise, you just set it up on your radio and you forget about it, right? So I can't set it up because there is no Avian program at the end of my thing. So that means this ESC is out of date. It did give me the software version of the ESC and all that at the beginning, which it's not important which software it is. The facts are that it doesn't work, right? So step one is to plug in a battery, connect to the fan port, and if you look right there, see that fan port, it's got a positive and a negative, and it's got a P, a program. There you go. So I got the positive and negative hooked up over here, and I got the P that way. And then I hooked the other end into the program box where it says ESC. So, all right, for the purposes of that, I'm all set up. I have a regular 3-cell battery, smart battery, but it doesn't matter that it is or not, just any battery to power this thing. So now from there I go to the computer, and it's gonna be there when you open up the once you go then download this smart link. It's kind of weird, it's gonna be in a zip folder. Let me show that to you. So when you download it, Spektrum Smart Link, that's what it looks like. It's going to be a zip file. So you just right click it, and you're going to get these things, and you just hit extract all. Once you hit extract all, you're going to end up at the point where you can, it's going to open it to a folder, and from that, open the file basically. And then from that point, it's going to allow you to get to where I was, which is here. So this is the main screen. So from there, I already got my ESC all hooked up. You saw that everything is set up on that end. So now I just need to plug into a PC with the USB. I'm sorry, I didn't show that. So there's another port on here, and it's just a regular USB-C right there. You see it? USB-C. And then it goes, the cable that comes with it is a USB-A, so I'm going to use what they came with. Plug that into the PC. I'm kind of scared because I got a battery hooked to this thing, and when you're doing the, oh, and it's a status bar pops up, so I guess I didn't burn it out. But you're kind of scared when you do this because when you're updating the receivers, it tells you don't hook up power because you'll burn something out. So now this is a little different. You hook up the power before you hook it up. All right, so then you get to this screen. So from here, let me scroll back and zoom in so I can see it myself without looking over a small crack where the phone is. Oh, so this is cool. So brake reverse, brake force, 0, everything that I had set up. So we're inside this ESC. ESC controller, disconnect, setting control, ESC, apply, restore, default, about, general settings, throttle control, firmware update. This is what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to click on that. And like I said, this is my first time. I have never done this. I'm fishing around because this ESC didn't work. Every other ESC I had, I got from somebody or whatever else. I bought a lot of stuff to use because I'm on a budget on this hobby, so I can't afford like these guys who just get everything sponsored and all that. I have to buy it all, so I use used stuff and old stuff and all that. So anyway, available versions. So firmware version is 4020. Available version is 4022. So there's a new version. That's why my stuff is probably not working. So let's click this down thing. Yeah, it's only got the one. So I'm gonna hit upgrade. and status bar popped up, just like it does with the receivers. I'm really kind of liking the way Spektrum has this stuff, like compared to stuff like even the FMS stuff I don't like, which the new V3 came out, and I'm dying to get my hands on one of those so I can kind of see how easy that is to use, because of course usually the V2s were, you can get them for 15-20 bucks. So if you can get those pretty cheap like that, and you pair it with a DSMX older receiver for 20 bucks also, so you're still way cheaper than you are with a Spektrum 630 or something that's costing you 80 bucks to buy brand new. I could talk forever on RC stuff, but I'm not. I'm gonna just go ahead and pause this while the status bar does its thing. It still got on the status bar going down, but anyway, I thought it was noteworthy that it says connecting PC, sorry. It's close to the end, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to this so we can watch together for the first time. Updated, operate, finish, successful, okay. Okay. So now it shows, oh, wait, another status bar. And that's it. So, profile 1, Avian, fixed wing. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and fire it up on the disconnected. So I guess I'll hit disconnect. And I guess I can just disconnect it. Let's see what happens. Alright, it went off. So, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the battery on the speed control. So now it's still all hooked up, so when I connect this, it should go to the horizon screen. Yes. I should be able to hit select, should say connecting. Yes. Software, okay, I didn't pay attention. I gotta probably start again because I missed the software update. I guess I could look at the video myself, but let's go ahead and do it all over again. All right, enter it. Should say the 22. Yep, 22. All right, we're good. So now I'm satisfied with that. I don't want to be in there. I don't want to do anything else in there. I'm disconnected. I'm gonna connect up to the radio. I gotta pause because I don't have that all set up yet. All right, I got my test rig all set up. Got a motor connected to the ESC. I'm probably gonna have to bind it again because I don't know what model I have. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold this down. Oh, maybe I don't have to. Yep, look like it's arming, so it's still connected. So I got a servo connected to test that. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over here to the radio, which is what we need to do. There we go. So the moment of truth. Like I said, this is the first time for all of us. Fingers crossed. If I'm good at what I just did, there should be a new menu at the end down there that says Avian Prog. Oh, I can already tell you, it didn't have the smart, which is weird because it must be a super old version that was on that Avian. Gyroscope, G-Force, Vario, and Avian Prog, and Vario is not on everyone either. All right, so if I hold up and left aileron, might be timed out by now. Oh, sorry for the shake. Right, didn't time out. All right, so fixed wing, brake force. Right there is disabled. I'm gonna hit right one time because people want to see how you do that. You can still see the numbers. I mean the nomenclature pretty good. So you see right there, it's the arrow shows you what I'm on. I switched it from whatever it was to normal. Now I'm gonna go right proportional, reverse. Push down one time on the stick, and it's on 0. I like mine to be 0. If you want your prop to stop in the air as soon as you hit down throttle, then put that to a number and it's gonna slow the prop. And if you put it on 1, it goes here. If you go on 2 if you put it on 7, it's just like zoop. As soon as you hit the throttle, it just immediately stops. It's just weird to me, and it makes a funny noise. I don't like it, so I leave it on 0. It's never given me any problem. It's never burned anything out. So I'm gonna keep going with that. So from that point, I'm gonna just go down, cut off, search SW. Let's see what that does though. Go back up to it. Soft cutoff, hard cutoff, search SW. Let me look up search SW right fast. I don't know what that is. All right, this wasn't in the options before. I'm in the manual for the ESC, and it's probably, of course, another older device, just like the device itself, but it only has soft and hard. So soft is selecting will gradually reduce the ESC output to 50% when power reaches, and then hard cutoff is when it's going to cut off hard. So the surge SW is when you get that, like, you get to the low voltage and you go zzz, 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 you'll hear the motor doing that. I'm fairly confident that's what it is. So I'm going to leave it on that. I'm not the kind of person, I don't fly to the max anyway, so I very rarely get to, I don't even know if I've ever have, unless it was one time with a mistake bird and somebody else fly it, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't fly to the max. I usually baby my batteries. So yeah, that's that. I'm a lipo cell. I'm gonna leave it on auto calculate. Cutoff voltage 3.4. I don't like that, so I'm gonna go left. Let's go to 3.0. I've done that before, and the battery is Spektrum battery, and it's got like 80 cycles on it now, so that doesn't kill it. And that's the one same one I was just speaking about. Somebody else flew my bird until it was flat. And what my thought trend on that is, I would much rather make a mistake with my battery and ruin the battery than to crash the bird because it just shuts off on me, which the cutoff volt would go and correspond to that that lipo cutoff type, so it wouldn't shut it off completely. It would just start surging. So I could probably leave that a little higher. Like I say, I've never used it. Like, at the end of the day, it always defaults. Now, I don't understand this VEC voltage. I think it should be selectable lower than 6 volts in case you have an older bird, but it's not. It only goes 6 and 7 too. So, startup time, I'll leave that soft. I don't know what that's about. Timing, I don't fool with that. Rotor rotation, I don't fool with that. Active FW, I'd have to look that up, but it's not something I normally deal with. And for reverse thrust, it doesn't matter. Govern gains level 1. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna leave that alone. AR time, start, accelerate, reverse thrust, channel 7. So that could be tricky if you got a bird that's got 6 channels, which is flaps and retracts. So then the next channel would be available would be 7. But what I like to do is I like to make channel 7 safe in those birds. So then I want this to be 8. So then I'm gonna push that down, exit. Arming. So if we're good, I should be able to, and I'm not going to go through any setup in the radio. I'm gonna just kind of see what's what. So if all right, the motor's turning. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the switch that I would normally have, and there it is. So that's it, guys. That is your whole setup of reverse thrust. You're going that way, you're flying, you're ready to hit reverse. And boom, that's it. The whole process is done in there. Now, if you need to set it up in your radio, you would, first thing I would do is, get back to your menus, get to this one. And then, like I said, you got your big boys. You got your first 4, then you got gear, and then you got flaps. Then after, and this would usually be called flaps, but this is a test bird, so it doesn't even have that. Then you got safe mode, and then you got the gear, your thing. So you could, okay, aux 3, and then you could go back to this, or down to your channel assign. I'm sorry, could you see that down here? Mile adjust. So you could go to, I don't want that. You want to go to this one. You're gonna go to channel assign, long press, so it turns off the RF. So make sure you're in a safe area. So then switch A is gear, aux 1 switch D, then aux 2 switch B, and that would be safe mode, right? And then aux 3 is switch G. So that's the switch I like to use, is G, right there. And I had set it up earlier, but it was, you know, it's set up now in this radio, but it won't be set up for yours because I set it up when I thought this ESC was going to work. So before I had to do the update. So now it's set to G, right? So then, alrighty. If you didn't have it set up, just click it right there where it says G, and you hit your switch that you want, and bloop, it's going to go to the switch you want. Okay, so having said that, let's say you get in. So then I'm going to back up. My ESC came back on. I'm ready to fire on all cylinders. I'm going to check my switch. It's showing that it's working right there. Let's say right now, and the reason why let's say, because it's actually what's going on with mine. My motor is spinning in the wrong direction. So that means the way I like my switch position to be, this is forward to me all the way down. And my whole thought trend is everything on my radio is full up to 0 when I start. And that means I'm safe, right? So this switch is down. That means I should be going forward. Well, in my specific case, it's going backwards. So in order for me to change that, get this set up. All right, move that a little bit. Ugh, it's lighting away. All right, so now I'm going to go to the servo setup. So I'm sorry. You go into model adjust, servo setup. And then you'll hit your switch, make sure you're right, aux 3. Then I'm going to just hit this. So now, with the down position, I should be blowing air back. Let me check it. And it is. So then, that's it. I'm switching in both directions. Everything I need. There is another thing I like to do. It's like a oh my goodness setup on the third position of the switch. So this will be forward flight, this will be reverse where I can control it with the stick proportion, and then its third position I just like to make it go full throttle, just so in case I hit the ground, I'm new flyer and I want to just, it could be 100% or whatever it is. I usually dial it in to stop the bird. You know, the main thing is I want to stop the bird. So if I dial it in and then it's like that's weird because, like, you hear that? And that's that brake that I set to 0, but it still does something. And when you're in the air with the aircraft and you shut the power off, you'll hear it making that sound when you're passing over your head. So, you know, some people like it, you know, I don't know. Some people might like it, I don't know. I just leave it to 0. But the more brake you apply, the more sound like that you're going to have. And the wind is going to be pushing the prop, so you're going to hear it. You're gonna hear that sound. Anywho, that setting up that full stop amount, I'll set up in a separate video because it's not really pertaining to reverse thrust. This is reverse thrust. That's the whole procedure. That's all you need to do.